Knowing how to use your IDE will definitely help you to be more productive. Intellij IDE is the most popular IDE for Java development. In this video, let us look at how we can use live templates and file templates that comes out of the box, and also let us see how we can create our own live templates and file templates. So here I have created a simple Java Spring Boot application and I have opened it in my Intellij IDEA Community Edition. So the live templates and file templates features that I am about to explain is going to work well in both Community Edition and Ultimate Edition as well. So here I have a sample class, and most of us know some of the live templates. For example, if you type main and press tab, it's going to expand it to public static void main method. And also another one that we commonly use is sout, which is going to expand to system.out.println. So you can type whatever you want to type. And another not very well known and very useful live template is, let's say you have some variable. Okay, so here you want to print this one. So what you can do, you can type the name and then type sout v and press tab. It's going to expand to system.out.println and put this variable and then concatenate this value here. So that comes very handy to print out some variable. So like this, again, if you have some list, let's say we have some names over here and list of things, and you can iterate over this list using name start iter and press tab. It's going to expand to a for each loop. So like this, there are few live templates that comes out of the box, and we use all this all the times. So let us take a look at where all these live templates are already configured. So if you press command comma on Mac OS, it will open this preferences window. So here under editor, there is live templates, and here if you expand this Java, and here you can see all these live templates that are coming out of the box with the Intellij IDEA. So here if you see main, this is nothing but what we have just seen. If you type main, this is the abbreviation and just a description, and this is what it's going to expand when you press tab button. So some of these characters that define what to do next, like you can insert some dynamic variables. This n represents the cursor would be placed at this location. So like this, you can create your own live templates. Let us say we have a common usage is public static final, PSVM. In addition to main, you can also use PSVM, which expands to same public static void main. Okay, so like that, there are we have used sout and sout v. So this is how you can use all these live templates that are pre-configured, and we can also create our own live templates as well. And one of the most common uses of this live template is expand it to a logger. So usually what do? We create a logger like this: private static final logger. We use slfrj and we use logger factory dot get logger sample dot class. So this is a common way to create a logger. So we can create a logger live template so that it should be easy to simply say logger and press tab. It should expand it to this way. Okay, so let us see how we can create our own logger live template. So let's create a logger live template. So let's go to live template section, and under Java group, let us create a logger live template. I'm giving the abbreviation as logger and description as slf for j logger. And for the template text, we can we can give private static final. So instead of giving the just class names, let us give the fully qualified names. org.slf4j.logger equals to org.slf4j.logger factory dot get logger, and here we need to have the current class name and dot class, right? So here we can use variables. So I can give variable as class dot class. Okay, so this way I can create entire template. The reason for giving the fully qualified name instead of just the class names, so that Intellij IDEA can use this template and automatically they can be shortened, like these will be added under the import section if they are not already present, and use only the class names instead of using the fully qualified names. So that's what this option shorten FQ names does. Okay, and here one thing that we are missing is how to provide this class value. So here you can go to edit variable section. For this class variable we can use the expression. By default it provides a lot of options to use. So here one of the option that we would like to use is class name. So we select the class name and this value will be dynamically replaced with the current class name. Okay, press OK, and here we need to define where you want to use this live template. So here you can go to and select this Java declaration. Okay, and click on apply. Okay, and let us delete this and also remove the import statements as well. Okay, and here if I type logger and press tab button, it's going to expand to full logger definition over here and then dynamically insert this class name as well. So this is how we can create these live templates. So if you don't check this shorten FQ names, let us see what happens. So if I remove this and then remove these imports as well, now if I use logger template, instead of moving these into import section, they will be keep as it is and then use the fully qualified names. So usually most of the times you would like to have this shortened FQ names. Okay, so that is how we can create our own custom SLF4j logger like template. I have created a repository called Intellij live templates, and then I have put together what are the common live templates that I personally use. So we have just seen how to create a logger template, and here is another one for JPA entity. So let us create a JPA entity and see how to use it. So I am copying this template and going back to Intellij IDEA, opening the live templates, and this time instead of in Java I would like to create in my own group. So first I'm going to create this template group and name it as SivaLabs, under which I'm going to create a live template. So here I'm going to name it as JPA entity and description as JPA entity, and here I'm going to paste this entire template and define it in Java. Okay, so here there is a variable called entity. So its name is going to be, so sometimes we create a plain class without any class in it, and then we want to create this JPA entity. So earlier we have seen how to use a class name, but here the class may not exist. So instead of class name, what we can do, we can use file name without extension. So here if you navigate, there is a variable called file name without extension. So select that. Okay, apply. So here I want to create a JPA entity. So what I can do, I'm going to create a Java class. Let's say entity name is person. By default it's going to create this class. I'm going to remove this and then use this JPA entity and then create tab and it's going to expand it to entire entity. I have ID, name, and it's going to expand to full template with default value based on the file name. Okay, so like that, if we are going to use Lombok, you can create like this and it's going to expand in the same way, and you can configure this variable with file name without extension. So like that, there are many templates. Similarly, let's say we are using with Spring Boot and MVC REST controllers. So if you want to create a Spring Boot controller, okay, what I can do, I can go ahead and create a template called boot controller. Spring MVC controller. Like this. So here again the same process. For the class name, I'm going to use file name without extension. So we need to select this context. Okay, so now if I want to create a controller, let's say customer controller. First, let me delete this and then use boot controller, press tab, and it's going to expand to these are the some of the common annotation that I use for any of the controllers. So it's a bit productive, like you don't have to keep typing for every controller. However, there is a little bit of inconvenience, like first you create a class and then delete that existing class definition and then invoke this live template, and we can fix that and make it even more easier using file templates. Okay, and you can see there are few others, boot controller, command line runner, and then some of these templates that I commonly use you can configure in the same way, and it will really help to speed up your development. Instead of typing the whole thing again and again, you can use these live templates and be more productive. A while ago, I have blogged about how to use Intellij file templates. So we can follow along this tutorial and see how we can leverage these file templates. So if you go to IDE and if you try to create any new class or HTML file or anything, these are all nothing but a file template. So if you are going to create a Java class, it's going to ask the name and then create it. But if you go to say instead of live templates, if you see file and code templates, here you can see all these predefined file templates. When you create a HTML file, by default it's going to take up this template and then create a HTML file. Similarly, if you are creating a Java class, this is the template it is going to use to create that new class. So in the same way, we can create our own file templates. So let us say go to this blog post, and here we want to create a Spring REST controller. Earlier we have seen, right, how to use live templates for, but the problem is first you create a class and then delete the class definition and then use the live template. But here we are going one step further. I want to create a Spring REST controller. So what we can do, preferences, go to file and code templates and then create a new template and then name as Spring REST controller. So let me go back, open this file and code templates, and here under files tab I'm clicking this plus button which is for create template, and here for the name I'm giving Spring REST controller extension as Java. Okay, and in the context text box enter this whole content. This is nothing but our Spring REST controller template, and here whatever we are seeing this if condition, this is nothing but velocity template code, just to see if the class that we are creating is inside any package, then insert the package statement, otherwise don't insert anything. So that is what it is. And then again, this name is nothing but our class name. Okay, copy this content and in this box paste it, apply. Okay, so now if you right click on this one and try to see here, a new option, Spring REST controller is being shown. So if you click on it, it's going to ask the file name because there is a name placeholder, and here let me give person controller. Okay, and it automatically created the controller with all these annotations that I commonly use, and required imports are there. So it is kind of a very similar to how we create live templates, but it is much more easy and it is more productive than live templates. So this is how we can create a new file template. In the same way, we can see we can go ahead and create Spring Data JPA repositories and JPA templates. So here, same way we can create a JPA template with all this template name, and then we can create, let us see, take this here and go to file templates, and again under files tab create a plus button, here JPA entity, and then paste it over there. Okay, now we should be able to see a JPA entity option here. So if I click and then if I create a customer JPA entity, it's going to create with all these commonly used annotations and ID is defined. So it becomes much more easy to create these classes with predefined templates. Okay, so now go back, and like that you can create templates for each of these individual components. Like typically in your Spring Boot applications, you use entities, services, repositories, controllers, and you can create individual templates for all of them. But it would be even much more productive if you are capable of generating all this entire set of classes. Like you want to create a entity and then a Spring Data JPA repository and then service and controller. This is a common three-tier architecture style, right? So how about just in one go you will be able to create all this? That would be fantastic, isn't it? So let us see how we can do that as well. So there is a support for generating multiple files, not only a single file. There is a support for generating a bunch of files. So how we can do that? So create a parent template. So let us take this name, generate boilerplate for entity. So this is the name that we are going to give for our this whole 4 classes generation. So here I'm going to open this file and code templates again, and here under files I'm creating a new template and I'm giving the name as generate boilerplate for entity, and I'm going to enter this content. Basically we are interested in generating the child templates, but there is a limitation that your parent template should also generate a class. So this is a bit of workaround in that. So I'm pasting that content over here. It's going to generate a dummy class name as well, but we can delete that. This is just a workaround with the current issue. Okay, so once we have this apply, but this is a parent template, and now we are going to create child templates for one for entity. So what we need to do, here under file templates, and you come here and select this generate boilerplate for entity, and then there is a button next to the plus which is for creating child template file. So click on that, and here you can see the file name, enter it entities slash whatever the name, because I want to create my entities inside entities package. So that's why I'm giving the file name as entities slash name. And here in the template, we can take this whole template here and put it over there. Okay. Again, this is nothing but velocity template to check if you are creating under a package and then automatically inserting that package statement. And we are using the whatever the name that we are about to give for this whole thing, we are using that placeholder over here. Okay, apply. Next, we want to create a repository, right? And let us follow the same approach. Select the parent entity, click on this create child template file, give the name as I want to create my repositories under repositories package. And also if the entity name is say a customer, I want to create it as customer repository. And here let us take this here. Service class, we want to use a camel case name to inject this reference here. So let us take this services. Again, same, select the parent entity, create a child template, give the name as services and name, copy this whole template. Okay, so here one additional thing that we are doing is, in addition to checking for this package name and then inserting the package statement, we are also creating a new variable called camel case name, which is nothing but we take the entity name and then lowercase the first character of it. Why we need to use that camel case name? Because typically in our service class we want to inject the repository, and here the name usually we give as say the lowercase name of whatever the control entity name, not the fully lowercase name, it is a camel case name, and then have the repository, right? So if it is a person repository, I would like to have a small p person and then repository, right? So that is why we created this new variable and assigned the camel cased version. Okay, so we have service as well now. And finally, let us create a controller. Again, select the parent and click on this child template, give the name and copy this. Okay, so that's all. We now have all the entities, repositories, service and controllers. Okay, now here if you go to new and then you see this generate boilerplate for entity, right? If you click on it and it will ask for the entity name, and let's say we want to create all this service, repository, controller, everything for the entity called product. And if you click on OK, so here you can see it created a entity under entities package called product, and then it created a repository under repositories package which is Spring Data JPA repository, and also created a service called product service and then injected this repository as well, and a controller is also generated and injected the product service as well. So this is much more productive. Like typically if you want to create any such boilerplate, this file templates coming very handy. You can simply create a whole bunch of associated file set at one go. You don't have to use multiple templates and then generate all these individually. You can use a file template with multiple file generation and then generate all of them in one go. So if you are not clear on what we are doing here, in this blog post I have explained what we are doing and why we are doing this, what exactly this camel case is for. So I would recommend you to go through this blog post if something is not clear. So So that's how you can use live templates and then file templates and create our own templates and be more productive. And also sometimes we want to use the same thing across a team. So instead of creating all these templates in every developer machine, what we can do, we can export these custom settings and whatever we created, live templates and file templates, we can export and zip them and then share it, and anybody can import and then start using them. So if we go back to this repository, Intellij live templates, here I explained how to export it and then import it. So here I just mentioned for live templates, but you can do the same for file templates as well. So what we can do, so here file, manage ID settings, import settings. This is for importing. So first let us see how we can export it. So here go to file, manage ID settings, here export settings. So here by default it exports everything. Select none. What we want to do, we want to export file templates, and there are live templates, right? So you can choose what exactly you want to export, and it is going to export into this path. Okay, settings.zip file. And once you create this zip, you can import in the same way. Like you can go to file, manage ID settings, import settings, and then you can choose the zip file and it will automatically import it. So I have already exported all these live templates and then put it this zip file over here. So what you can do, you can simply download the zip file and then import them this way, and you can start using any of these live templates. Okay, so this is really very productive. Like you can share all these live templates and file templates, and your entire team can use them uh, and be more productive. So that's all for this video, and I hope this live templates and file templates creation is helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.